Alright, Coach Gabriel here again, and we are going to go over the volleyball serve-receive rotations. So this is a little bit more complex than the service rotation because there is a different formation for serve-receive in order to get your setter to the setter spot. So for rotation-wise, setter will be here, the libero is next, your other outside hitter is here. Your outside one is here. Your middle is here. And your elbow is here. So if you look over on this screen, the red colored dots here are your front row players. Your blue are your back row, including your green player, which is going to be your setter. So as you see, the formation here is going to be quite different. Let's see if we can put this over here. So your setter is back there. Now your outside hitter is going to come up back here to pass. Your libero is still here. Your other outside is passing. Your middle is right there. And your opposite is pushed back a little. So keep in mind, these three are your front row players. So as long as the setter is behind the player in front of him, you will not fall out of rotation. So as the server goes, we can see what happens. Pass, the setter runs to the spot, ball gets there. Now you see all three hitters are now here, getting ready to hit, which means the setter can go to your oppo, to your middle, or your outside, which then they end up going to base defense, as we talked about earlier. Now we're going to go through serving number 2, which is after your outside has served, which means for serving, your outside was here, your setter was lined up over here, this is your libero, this is your middle, this is your oppo, and this is your other outside. Let's fix that for you right there. So with this, we're going to put our setter right next to our opposite hitter, which is right here. The middle will step off the net. As long as the middle is on the right side of the opposite hitter, you will not fall out of rotation. And as long as the setter is behind the opposite hitter, you will not fall out of rotation. So this is how that's going to look for serve receive. Here is your outside hitter, your libero, always passing. Now here is your front row outside hitter. Your opposite, your middle, and your setter. And your front row hitters are this guy, and this guy. And as we go to the video, as soon as the serve, did you notice what happened? As soon as they serve the ball, the opposite hitter goes to the right side and the middle goes in front of the setter, so he will have all the options to hit. And the pass comes, setter can go outside, middle, or oppo, and they go back to base defense. Now we move on to row 3. Which is when your middle or your libero serves. Your outside is positioned over here. Keep doing that. Your setter is positioned over here. Oppo, outside, and middle. So these are your 3 front row players, 3 back row players. So the way we're going to line this up for serve receive is just like this. The libero is going to pass. Whoops. Outside hitter is going to pass. The front row outside is going to pass. The middle will stay right here. The opposite. And the setter. So this is where it kind of gets tricky. As long as the middle is on the left side of this guy, of your outside, you will not fall out of rotation. As long as the setter is behind your middle, you will not fall out of rotation. And as long as your setter is on the left side of this outside hitter, you will not fall out of rotation. So keep in mind, this outside, this middle, and this oppo are back row players. I mean front row, sorry. So your setter, outside, and libero are your back row players. And the serve comes over here. The setter just moves to the net, to his position. The middle transitions here. The outside goes to the left. And the oppo stays there and gets ready to hit. And there you have it. Now, for row 4, the main changes are your opposite now will come back here because he is now back row. Your middle and your setter switch. So as you see right here, these are your 3 front row players. As long as they stay in that straight line, you will not fall out of rotation. So when the ball is served, the setter goes to the spot, the middle goes to the middle, and the outside gets ready to hit. And they go back to base defense. Now we're going to move on to row 5. So row 5 is your middle is right here, setter, you have your outside. This outside now goes to back row. It's your opposite, and your libero is right here. Now how this is going to look for serve receive. Your setter stays here because he's already in the setting spot. Your middle backs up. Front row outside goes back to serve. Libero stays in the middle to pass. Back row outside passes. And your opposite stays back here. Watches the deep ball. So these are your front row guys right there. This is your outside. This is your middle. And this is your setter. Serve comes. Middle transitions. Setter can go outside. Or setter can go middle. And back to base defense. And basically from here, your last position is row 6, which is setter's over here, outside, Oh, I can't even write that. Outside, middle, oppo, back row outside, and now your libero is back here. That was in for your other middle. For serve receive, we know that the setter is going to stay here because he is closest to the setting spot. Your middle will be right here. Your outside that was here will be backed up so he can pass. And same as earlier, as long as the middle stays on his left side, you will be in rotation. And the other outside is here to pass. This is the back row outside. The libero and your oppo will be back here for any deep ball. And as we look over here, serve comes, the middle transitions, setter sets out, or the middle, and they go back to base defense. And there you have it, 6 serving rotations and 6 serve-receive rotations. Feel free to leave me a comment or a message if you have any questions.